Hello my fine feathered friends, and yes, before I get into this, I've been away from my channel. If you're new here and you're just watching this because of the title of this video, sup, I've been away. I changed universities, that's why I've been away. Okay, now the finale of Game of Thrones is tomorrow. Now, I have been planning to do a Game of Thrones video for a very long time. I actually filmed a video after the third episode, the Battle of Winterfell. Is that what it's called? Anyways, yeah, I filmed a video for that. But after every episode, there's more things for me to talk about and just, you know, rant, I suppose. But since the finale is tomorrow, I thought I'll do this and get this out the way. And so I'll come back with fresh thoughts on the finale on Tuesday, maybe, if I'm lucky. But anyways, just a little hoo-too-too of what I thought of the third episode. I was surprised that the Night King was killed so early. And I think a lot of people kind of have that same consensus, like he was killed really easily and very early, and you build up like the White Walkers and the Night King for so long, and then he's just killed in one episode. Like, I would have liked the Battle of Winterfell to be drawn out to 2 episodes, because that would have made sense. And you'd think that the Night King would have been like, ooh, I'm not going to go into battle because the Three-Eyed Raven would know what I'm going to do because he knows everything. That's probably the only thing that I'm annoyed about, that the Night King was killed off, and the fact that the final battle was like Cersei, which, stupid. Which, talking about that episode, I'm gonna just talk about what I thought of that, the last episode, episode 5, the bells, whatever it's called. And yeah, weirdly enough, the first 3 episodes of this season, I actually really enjoyed. The 4th episode was okay. It was when they just suddenly teleported to King's Landing, where I was like, we're doing this already? Like, we just fought the Night King and now we're going up against Cersei? I don't get it. Like, weird. You'd think it'd be the other way around. But anyways, it wasn't until like halfway of like episode 4 where I was like, oh, this is a bit weird. Then episode 5 comes around and it's like, oh, Jesus. But the first thing I'm going to talk about is Daenerys. I'm still rooting for Dany. Like, I'm not crazy, okay? But like, I don't get why people are like, wow, she actually burnt them down. It's like, well, as annoying as it was to be like, oh, Dany, why? Why did you have to do that? I was kind of like, fair enough, she went through a lot. Like, you know, her best friend died, Jorah died, her 2 dragons are dead. She had to fight some other war with Jon that she didn't even know. Like, Daenerys has been building up her own army by herself. Her whole goal that has just been engraved into her brain is to reclaim the throne that was taken from her family, because her family were all massacred. Like, they killed the children, they killed everybody, you know? And then from birth to however old she is when she's married off to Khal Drogo, she's been basically running from her life from assassins. So, you know. So she finally builds up this army, and then all of a sudden this guy from the north is like, you gotta fight my battles. And she's like, do I though? And then she sees, you know, the dead. Actually, she's quite compliant because she does help Jon harvest the obsidian. And then she's like, oh, this might be real. And then she sees the cave paintings, and then she's like, oh, heck, son, I see. And then she loses most of her army against the White Walkers and stuff. And then, yes, all of those people that she loved are dead now. So when she burnt them all, I was kind of like, fair enough, but like, I wish she didn't. Overall, it's just bad writing, in my opinion. It's not Daenerys. That's why I don't say she's the Mad Queen. She's not mad. And it does annoy me when people go, oh, she's the Mad Queen now. Now, Daenerys has always had haters. You either like her or you don't. I've always liked Dany. She's been one of my favourite characters from the get-go. I'm gonna sound all like smart here. I read the books before I watched the show, so like, I think that does help in how much you care for the characters, because Daenerys is 12 years old in the first book. She's 12 to 13 when she's married off to Khal Drogo. And it's a lot more in the books. Just throwing that out there. Like, they kind of... Now, I read them a few years ago, but like, it's more romantic in the show. Like, it's a bit at first, but it's more romantic. And like I said, Dany is 12 to 13 in the first book. She's only, I think, 16 by the end, or 17 by the end. So like, seasons 1 to 6 of Daenerys is based on little child Daenerys. So when people in the past would be like, oh, Daenerys is making such stupid decisions, like why she... It's because her character was based on a child. Like, all they did in the show was kind of up their ages, because that's weird if they didn't. Like, the child Daenerys is a child. She's a child. So, like, when she makes wrong decisions and stuff, it's like, well, she's a kid. She's 13. Like, how does she know? Like, you know. Whereas in the show, it's like, Dany, what you doing, mate? But you have to remember, her character, up until season 6, kind of, is based on the book version of Dany. And that's kind of where you can see the character sort of decline, because they don't have the books to properly back up their motives and stuff. Same thing with Jaime. I really like Jaime. He was one of my favourite characters, because book Jaime is also really good. I actually prefer book Jaime to show Jaime a lot more. I've always said this. Show Jaime backpedals a lot. He had his arc redemption when he was with Brienne the first time, and then he keeps going back to Cersei, and it's like, stop it. And then he leaves Cersei at the end of season 7, and you're like, good on you. And then he gets with then he gets with Brienne, and you're like, oh, isn't this lovely? But then he goes back to Cersei. I hated that, because that's not what he should have done. That's stupid. I think they just needed him to die. I think he dies differently in the books, because if you read them, you know what I mean. But like, I think Jaime dies differently in the books, and in the show they were like, oh heck, Jaime dies in the books this way. How's he gonna die in the show? Like, what are we gonna do? Oh, I know. Let's send him off to Cersei, and then they can die together in the Red Keep. Stupid. Anyways, but yeah. But going back to Daenerys, like I said, I don't see her as mad, because she's not written like that. Personally, I think this is the first time where she really did lose it and just killed people for no apparent reason, because she has killed people in the past, don't get me wrong, but she's had justified reasons. The crazy witch lady in the first season, she tricked her. She turned Khal Drogo into a vegetal, and then she, like, basically, you know, did some voodoo magic on Daenerys' baby. The masters were all slavers and they were horrible, so, you know, the Khals, when she burnt them alive, the Khals aren't even good. I don't even like Khal Drogo. Like, he was okay, but like, they didn't have good ideals, basically. So, you know, she basically had justified reasons. Even the Tarleys. I don't get why people are defending the Tarleys, and they're like, she should have burnt them. Yes, she bloody should have, because they would have bloody backstabbed her anyways. They were so wishy-washy. They were with the Tyrells, and then they were with Cersei, and then they freaking offered to be burnt. They knew what was going to happen. Everybody else laid down their swords, but they were like, oh yeah, fair enough, it's a good way to go, I suppose. Sign me up. So that's on them. Here's the thing. Dany has been written badly. And as much as I don't like the idea of Daenerys being the Mad Queen, because quite personally, I think it's a little bit lazy, because it's like, oh, because Ares was mad, Daenerys must be mad. Like, it sounds stupid, and it's kind of like, well, what's the whole point of her goddamn character if she just turns mad in the end? Like, she's been through so much, and now she turns crazy, and she turns mad. It's such a short amount of time, like, it's insane. Anyways, if this is the case, and this is how it happens in the books are obviously gonna plan it out better. It's gonna be a nice gradual slope. So yeah, I don't think Dany's mad. I think her burning down King's Landing was stupid, but whatever. She had a rough day, but I just don't see it as Dany because she's not written that way. Same thing with Jaime. Jaime's one of my favorite characters, but I didn't cry when he died because I was like, this isn't Jaime. This isn't the Jaime that I've come to love. He wouldn't have done this. Like, I wasn't even sad when he died. And that's a really sad thing because I thought, like, for such a long time, I was like, oh man, if they kill Jaime, I'm gonna be a wreck. I didn't cry because I thought it was so stupid how he died and what he did prior. It's like, you just got with Brienne, you were happy for a few days, and then you went to Cersei. Like, predictions for the finale. I swear to God, if Daenerys is killed because she's the Mad Queen now, because she burnt down King's Landing, and she's mad and she shouldn't have the throne, I'm gonna be mad. As I said, if this happened in the books, and if the books end like this, it's going to annoy me, but George R. Martin would know how to he would know how to write it well. This doesn't make sense, Daenerys suddenly being evil when 2 episodes ago she was the hero and she saved them all with her dragons and her army, you know. And even last episode, like, doesn't make sense because all logic has been thrown out the window and Daenerys has just been written badly to be the Mad Queen, which to me doesn't make sense right now because short amount of time, it doesn't make sense to kill her off. What was the point of Daenerys' whole entire story? Especially if you're someone who's read the books and know her full story and everything, it's like, wow, so this is what's gonna happen to Daenerys? Like, if the books end the same way, it's kind of like, what was the point? I have a feeling she'll be pregnant. And then they won't kill her because she's pregnant with Jon's child. And that whole idea of Azor Ahai, because I was like, that hasn't come into play because I thought Azor Ahai would, or the prince that was promised, would come into play with killing the Night King, but it didn't. If Daenerys is pregnant, which I think will happen, that will be the prince that was promised because fire and ice, you know? Like, literal fire and ice, that a baby made of fire and ice is Daenerys's and Jon's child because Jon is a Stark. Like, so many people are like, but he's a Targaryen. It's like, yeah, but his mum was a Stark. Like, she's still a pure blood Stark. Like, he's fire and ice. More ice, really, than fire because Jon's been burnt. And Daenerys is fire, you know, so I think it's Daenerys. She has a little baby, but who knows how the show will end. Oh, I honestly have no predictions for how it will end, except for Daenerys is probably going to be pregnant and they're not going to kill her because of that, and Jon isn't going to sit on the throne because why would he? And there's no such thing as a throne anymore. Like, I never thought anyone would sit on the throne. I always thought that Daenerys, back in the day, would destroy the throne. Because why would she want to live in King's Landing or the Red Keep when so much bad stuff has happened? Like, I thought, like, my theory was that if Daenerys won, she would rebuild a new capital or put it somewhere else. Jon won't become king because that's... I reckon he'll go north and live out there or something. I don't know. Or he'll live with Daenerys. I think Arya is gonna go back to Winterfell, because if she's the one that kills Daenerys, that's too annoying. Like, she killed the Night King, and she's gonna kill Daenerys. I'm glad she didn't get to kill Cersei, because that was going to be annoying, because I was like, why does Arya get to kill Cersei? Like, there's a lot more people who deserve to kill Cersei than Arya does. Like, Arya just doesn't like her, but like, Sansa, Tyrion, and Jaime had pure reasons to kill Cersei. Arya just has a vendetta against her because of what happened when she was a child. But like, Cersei never outrightly went against Arya, you know? But I think Arya will probably go back to Winterfell and maybe rethink Gendry's offer, because Sandor Clegane had that little heart-to-heart moment. And it might have like opened up her eyes a bit. Like, she can keep doing her assassin business, but she can find a home. She can live her life. She doesn't have to be married. She doesn't have to have kids, but she can have her own home whilst doing other things. She doesn't always have to be on the run and angry, you know? So she might rethink Gendry's offer. And I hope they do, because this would be nice. Do a time jump. That would be nice. I even have this really crazy theory, and it's really stupid, and it's really dumb, and I really hate these types of things, but I had a theory that, what if the episode starts with Bran waking up at his tree when they're fighting the Night King, and he's like, we can't kill the Night King, because if we kill the Night King, this happens. Like, everything bad that has happened happens. So the Night King has to either kill me or come down more for it to change. And like, that's kind of like and they woke up. But like, honestly, I would prefer that to what has happened in the last few episodes. Bran was just seeing, like, having a Doctor Strange moment, and was like seeing what was gonna happen, and predicting what would happen if they killed the Night King. Because I wanted more from the Night King too. Like, why did he look at Bran, and why was he like, what you looking at, boy? You know? Did he speak? What was his true motives? Like, yes, he wanted to kill Bran and the Three-Eyed Raven, but like, why though? Like, he was always gonna march down. Because I always thought, and why is it not snowing in King's Landing? Because I thought the reason why the Night King was finally going on the march was because it was winter in Westeros, and easier for him to walk around, because he can bring the Frosties, but he doesn't create the seasons. Like, he's not the reason why it's freaking winter. He just makes ice, you know? So I thought that was why he was finally marching down, was because it was winter now and easier for them. But in King's Landing, it looks hot as heck, so I don't know what that's about. Like, where's the snow? It was snowing when Jaime left. But alas, that is it for now. So basically, I don't think Dany's the Mad Queen, because it's illogical and doesn't make sense. I wasn't sad that Jaime died, which makes me sad, because I should have been sad, but he was just written badly. I hope Bran wakes up from Warg Dream and this was all a dream, and he was just predicting the future and the Night King is still alive, because that would be a better ending. And I hope there is a time jump at some point, like a few weeks have passed. I just want Daenerys at one point to be on a throne of some kind as the legitimate queen of Westeros, not just being like, oh, these are my titles. Like, no, she is literally the queen. She's not just saying she's the queen, like, it's been inducted in, you know? Like, I just want that. Can I just have that before she's killed off? But anyways, that is it. I hope this wasn't too crazy and ranty. Let me know what your thoughts are down below, because I'd really like to know. And yeah, I'll be back after the finale, just saying what my thoughts were. And yes, hope you all have a lovely day, and goodbye.